Imagine you're driving home from work when your wife texts you, "When will you be home, honey?" Nothing unusual. You tell her you're leaving now. You pull into your driveway, walk inside, and immediately realize something is wrong. Your wife is dead. Then you look toward the kitchen and see your 14-year-old stepdaughter. She's holding a gun. And suddenly, she starts shooting. But here's the part you don't know yet. Your wife never sent those messages. Your stepdaughter did. Tonight, we're talking about Carly Gregg, the 14-year-old Mississippi girl who killed her mother, shot her stepfather, and then claimed she couldn't remember doing any of it. Welcome to the podcast, You Can't Unhear. Before March 19th, 2024. Carly Gregg didn't look like the teenager who would eventually stand trial for murder. She lived in Brandon, Mississippi with her mother, Ashley Smylie, and stepfather, Heath Smylie. Ashley was a mathematics teacher at Northwest Rankin High School, the same school Carly attended. Carly was academically gifted. She had reportedly skipped a grade and was remembered as intelligent and capable. And Heath would later describe a girl he loved deeply, even after she shot him. But behind that image, there were problems the adults around Carly were beginning to discover. On March 19th, one of Carly's friends reportedly told Ashley that she was concerned about her daughter. The concerns included Carly's marijuana use. Prosecutors later said Ashley returned home and searched Carly's bedroom. And this is where the home surveillance cameras become incredibly important. Because this isn't a case where investigators had to guess what happened immediately before the murder. Parts of it were recorded. Ashley can be seen entering Carly's bedroom. Not long afterward, Carly enters her mother's bedroom. When she comes back out, she's holding something behind her back. A gun. The weapon belonged to Ashley. Carly then returned to her own bedroom. Seconds later, gunshots. Ashley Smylie was shot and killed. She was 40 years old, and Carly was 14. But according to prosecutors, what happened next was one of the most important parts of their case. Because Carly didn't immediately run. She didn't call 911. She didn't appear on the surveillance footage desperately seeking help. Instead, the cameras captured her moving through the house. At one point, she interacted with the family's dogs. And then, she began using Ashley's phone. Carly contacted a friend. She told the friend there was an emergency and asked her to come over. When the girl arrived, prosecutors said Carly asked her a question that would later become one of the most infamous lines from the case. Had she ever seen a dead body before? Carly then showed her what had happened to Ashley. According to testimony, Carly also talked about waiting for Heath. The friend eventually left, and Carly remained inside, waiting. Meanwhile, Heath had no idea what had happened. He was at work, and messages were coming from Ashley's phone. One asked when he would be home. To Heath, it looked like his wife was texting him. To prosecutors, it looked like something completely different. They argued Carly was luring him back to the house. Heath eventually arrived home, and almost immediately, his world changed. He found Ashley. Then he saw Carly. He would later testify that something about her expression looked completely different. Her eyes were extremely large. He described her as looking almost as though she'd seen something terrifying. And then, she raised the gun. Carly fired at him. Heath was struck in the shoulder. But unlike Ashley, he survived. He managed to wrestle the weapon away from Carly, and Carly ran. She escaped through the backyard, jumped a fence, and disappeared into the surrounding area. Police launched a search. Roughly half an hour later, she was located nearby. 14 years old, her mother dead, her stepfather wounded. And soon, Carly Gregg would be charged as an adult. At first glance, this sounds like a straightforward prosecution. So, by the time the case reached trial in September 2024, the central question wasn't really, did Carly do it? Her own defense wasn't seriously contesting that. The real question became, what was happening inside Carly Gregg's mind? Carly pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. And suddenly, her mental health history became central to the trial. The defense presented evidence that Carly had struggled psychologically. A defense psychiatrist concluded that she had bipolar disorder. There was testimony involving depression, dissociation, and reports of auditory hallucinations. The defense argued that Carly was experiencing a severe mental health crisis around the time of the shooting. And then there were the medications. This is where I want to be very careful, because online, this case quickly became, she changed antidepressants and then killed her mother. But that's much stronger than what the evidence actually establishes. A medication change happened around the broader period being discussed. But correlation isn't proof that medication caused the murders. And at trial, experts disagreed about Carly's mental condition. The defense believed mental illness profoundly affected her actions. The prosecution's expert didn't agree that it met Mississippi's legal definition of insanity. That distinction is important. Being mentally ill and being legally insane are not automatically the same thing. Under the legal standard applied in Carly's case, the jury had to consider whether her mental condition prevented her from understanding the nature and quality of what she was doing, or understanding that it was wrong. The state's psychiatrist, Dr. Jason Pickett, concluded that Carly did not meet that standard. He believed she understood her actions, and prosecutors had powerful evidence to support that argument. Because they weren't looking only at the shooting, they were looking at what Carly did afterward. Using Ashley's phone, calling a friend, showing her the body, waiting for Heath, messaging him, and then fleeing after he survived. To prosecutors, those weren't the actions of someone completely disconnected from reality. They showed planning, awareness, and concealment. The defense saw those same hours differently. They argued Carly's behavior itself showed how profoundly disturbed her mental state was. Think about it. A 14-year-old allegedly kills her mother, then casually interacts with her dogs, invites another teenager into the house, and shows her the body. Is that evidence of cold calculation? Or evidence of a child whose mind was seriously unwell? That became the uncomfortable question sitting in front of the jury, and Carly's age made everything even more difficult. She was 14 years old when this happened. There was another remarkable element. Heath Smylie, the man Carly shot, continued supporting her. During the trial, he testified, and despite everything, he made clear that he still loved Carly. At one point, he reportedly mouthed, "I love you," toward her in court. Imagine the position he was in. His wife was dead. He had survived being shot, and the person responsible for both was also a child he had helped raise. There isn't a clean emotional category for something like that. Before trial, Carly had reportedly been offered a plea agreement involving decades in prison. she rejected it. Instead, her attorneys took the insanity defense before a jury. The trial lasted 5 days, and on September 20th, 2024, the verdict came back. Guilty of first-degree murder. Guilty of attempted murder. Guilty of tampering with evidence. The jury rejected the insanity defense. Carly Gregg, now 15, was sentenced to 2 life sentences plus another 10 years. But the story didn't end with the verdict. Her attorneys challenged the outcome. And now, the case has reached Mississippi's highest court. In May 2026, Carly's attorneys appeared before the Mississippi Supreme Court. Among the issues raised on appeal are questions surrounding the jury instructions and whether the life sentence imposed for attempted murder was legally permissible. So nearly 2 years after the shooting, the legal fight surrounding Carly Gregg is still unfolding. And whatever happens with the appeal, there's a bigger question this case leaves behind. Not whether Carly pulled the trigger. The evidence answered that. But why? There are clues. Ashley had apparently learned troubling information about Carly before the shooting. There were concerns involving marijuana. There was the search of Carly's room. There was conflict. There were serious mental health questions. But there has never been one simple explanation capable of neatly explaining everything that happened inside that house. And maybe there never will be. Thanks for joining tonight. What do you think about this case? Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any updates about this case. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast, You Can't Unhear.